The marathon cabinet meeting concluded after 5 hours. The outcome, Theresa May has the backing of her government ministers at least.
The choices before us were difficult, particularly in relation to the Northern Ireland backstop. But the collective decision of Cabinet was that the government should agree the draft withdrawal agreement and the outline political declaration. But if I may end by just saying
And there was a deeply personal finale.
I believe that what I owe to this country is to take decisions that are in the national interest. And I firmly believe, with my head and my heart, that this is a decision which is in the best interests of our entire United Kingdom.
Since the first leaks of the draft Brexit deal emerged on Tuesday evening, there's been a febrile atmosphere in Westminster. Ahead of the cabinet meeting, there was a boisterous session in Parliament. And without even having seen the text of the deal, the opposition leader heaped scorn on it.
It breaches the Prime Minister's own red lines. It doesn't deliver a strong economic deal that supports jobs and industry. And we know they haven't prepared seriously for no deal. So does the Prime Minister still intend to put a false choice to Parliament between her botched deal or no deal?
The position of Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party is also crucial in all of this. The Prime Minister's minority government relies on DUP support in Parliament, but their backing on Brexit looks doubtful.
If she thinks that she's going to get this through Parliament, she has another thing coming. All the groups she needs, none of them seems willing to help her. The DUP won't vote for this deal because it puts a barrier between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The hard Brexiters won't support it because it keeps them in the customs union. A lot of Remainers won't do it because it reduces our influence, it does nothing for services, and it keeps us in EU instruments without any say.
The overrunning of the UK cabinet meeting meant that in Brussels a meeting of EU ambassadors had to break up without getting the chance to discuss the draft text. Nevertheless, Michel Barnier, the EU's chief negotiator, hailed the decisive progress, as he put it, that he said had been made.
This agreement is a decisive, crucial step in concluding these negotiations. It's also the achievement of a methodology in negotiations carried out in transparency from the word go and fully in respect of our respective mandates.
Cabinet approval means plans can now be accelerated for a summit of EU leaders, most likely on November 25th. But in actual fact, the collective approval of her cabinet ministers was perhaps the least of Prime Minister Theresa May's worries, important though it was. Remember, she still faces the prospect of a no-confidence vote in her leadership from her own party backbenchers. And there is the prospect of a parliamentary landscape with so many different contingents that there is no clear consensus or majority for anything other than opposition to her Brexit plan. Paul Brennan, Aljazeera, Westminster.